Today, the story of two hardened hands.
We are doing about 13 million per year.
And a single bait that took over the world of fishing.
Ooh, every lure must be perfect.
People are passionate about outdoor equipment. Get this, Americans spend more than $20 billion a year on gear. But no one ever really sees how their stuff gets made.
Well, that's where we come in. Each week, we throw open the factory doors and give you a behind-the-scenes look at how your favorite gear is made.
Made for the outdoors.
I always say that fishing is about the safest form of gambling there is. It's certainly inexpensive. The chips you buy are all the pretty baits, and one of the most popular is that guy, a Rapala bait. And let me tell you, it's quite a story when you see how these things get made for the outdoors.
The Rapala story starts a long way from home, roughly halfway around the world in the maritime city of Helsinki. Just 90 minutes up the road in a town called Vaski, a building kinda tucked away in the woods. Out front, a single recognizable logo. Rapala's original home.
This is awesome. So, where's production? Let's go.
Let's go.
Arto Nygren runs the Finland plant. Together, Arto and I will tackle Rapala's story. Start to finish. Get it? Tackle, finish. Up first, Rapala's woodshop.
The whole lumber yard.
This is balsa wood coming from Ecuador.
I know it looks like there's a lot of wood in here, but I'm guessing you turn this over.
Many times per year. This is about 3 months timber over here.
Once stockpiled,
This is a little bit noisy area.
workers pick pieces to cut for production.
We have here 3 categories balsa. Hard one, it's heavy. You can feel this is quite heavy. And after that we have a medium heavy, then very light.
Workers trim and join the blocks to create long strips.
Ah,
Okay, that's what we need.
In a year, Rapala mills 500 cubic meters worth of balsa. That's a pile of wood.
but now all of a sudden you see bait, 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 bait,
Yeah.
bait.
Over in the next room,
You're not allowed to see.
a row of proprietary lathes spin the sticks of balsa. The machines cut, shape, and spit out baits at an incredible pace.
And we can get more than 100,000 bodies from this department in one day.
Yep, 100,000 a day.
It's just lathe and lathe and lathe and lathe, and they're all shaping the different bodies. It's like a scene from The Wizard of Oz. The point is, the balsa is going in, and it comes out shaped. Secret trade stuff.
And that's all Arto will let me say about that. At this point, workers check specs.
We have here quality indicators. You can see length is right, enough deep, and everything is okay.
So much of what happens here, so many of these machines, they're homemade.
You can't get these machines from anywhere else.
This one cuts baits to the right length and also adds a slot for the wire frame, which means these floaters can now get their skin. Workers can still hand wrap foil on baits.
I gotta take one more picture. I can't help it.
From here,
Oh my gosh.
raw baits go into storage. Rooms full of literally hundreds of thousands of bodies just waiting.
We have 3 million bodies in this stock. We have wooden bodies, plastic bodies, everything we have in this stock.
When I dream at night, that's what I see.
Okay.
This would be a good test for you. Just start pulling random.
CD7. That was jointed 7, sorry. They are ready to painting.
Ah, yes, painting Rapalas. That and another secret. Next, we get a peek.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Splash Products, Access Covers, and by Game Fair.
In Vaski, Finland, Rapala churns out an astonishing 100,000 baits a day.
And then we do all these baits over here also.
Oh my gosh.
At Rapala's tiny foundry, workers melt and form heavy metal to weight-specific baits.
450 degrees Celsius.
What's the metal?
Zinc.
The weight is just part of Rapala's recipe for the guts, you might call it.
We do all wires also over here.
Over in the next room, one-of-a-kind machines bend wire. The wire connects your fishing line to the hooks. Now, workers join the pieces of the puzzle. The bait, the weight, and the wire become one. Then the bellies get sealed, and we take a quick walk outside.
Secret place, huh?
This is the secret spot where Rapalas get their identities.
Painting, which we're not allowed to see, more R&D secret stuff.
Arto negotiates and gets us a quick peek, although we must stay outside the doors. Racks of thousands of baits sit ready to earn their stripes. Watch this, the Mac Daddy of all paint guns, with literally every color in Rapala's rainbow. The painter loads a row of bait. He sprays. He moves slowly and smoothly, back and forth adding color. Notice the chair moves on a track system. White bellies on the first pass, red chins on the next pass back. A flip of the baits, and then the backside gets black shoulders.
So 2 minutes ago, those were clear, and now they're completely finished. Wow, that really is an art in itself.
Everywhere we walk,
Here you can see different kind of spinner blades.
components of fishing lures.
13 million per year. It's a huge number. It's about 50,000 pieces per day. Every lure must be perfect.
The legacy built from scratch by the hands of a lumberjack.
So what is this place?
Sport fishing museum and a kind of a nature center and a special exhibition on the Rapala factory.
Vaski's local museum celebrates Finnish fishing traditions, specifically Lauri Rapala's. See, back around World War II, Lauri made his living as a lumberjack. But during tough times, he tackled commercial fishing to make a few extra bucks. Out on his wooden boat, Lauri learned to watch the fish below.
That's when he came up with the idea that a predator species would always attack the weakest fish in the school.
Lauri grabbed a carving knife and shaped pine bark.
When Lauri started to work on his first lure, he had to improvise.
He needed flash, so Lauri covered his rough bait in foil from a chocolate bar. He even melted an old photography negative over the top to create a hard cover. Then Lauri threw a few casts.
Started catching a lot of fish with his own lures, so obviously the story spread.
Soon enough, Rapala had his wife and 4 sons building baits. They tested every lure to make sure each wiggled just right.
This is a kind of a replica of the cabin where they started. It was a very small cabin. The whole family lived in there, and they also built the lures at home. First the family started helping, and then a lot of the local guys, so there was a lot of people living in the same village or in the nearby villages.
Work got so busy, Lauri's son brainstormed this strange-looking machine. Saw, sander, drill, and a couple other tools all built into one. A break in the Rapala story came in 1959. Lauri entered his floater into a local fair. The minnow won second place. A few weeks later, a note typed up by the owner of, get this, a Minnesota sporting goods store.
Gentlemen, we are interested in importing for the purpose of sales and distribution.
Lauri started exporting his baits to the U.S. But it was a Hollywood blonde that cemented Rapala into U.S. culture.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, what does Marilyn Monroe have to do with this story? Interesting. Life magazine decides to publish a big spread on this brand new lure that's catching all these fish. And it just so happened that it showed up in the edition that remembered Marilyn Monroe's life. It became the all-time seller for the magazine. And as you can imagine, it did some big things for Rapala too.
Rapala became an international name, and the baits sold all over the world.
Even today, we test every single lure that leaves the factory.
These days, Lori's a bit of an icon.
Might be very, very happy if he can see what maybe he's looking somewhere.
An amazing fishtail turned reality by the heart and hands of a lumberjack. Funny that halfway around the world, the Finnish scenery looks so much like life back here at home. Seems people are the same too.
So this is what area?
This is the product development.
Jukka Sairinen. He's the designer responsible for many of the Rapala baits you probably have used. In Rapala's Research and Development Center, computer designers constantly brainstorm new baits. In the old days, designers might come up with a design and then carve a giant prototype. Nowadays, it's all computers and ball bearings, as they say.
Once it's done here, then you build the actual model and then you test it.
Exactly.
The testing happens down the hall. I call this tank Rapala's holy water. Every Rapala bait takes first dip here in this tank. It's the DNA of a Rapala, and Jukka's crew developed so many of the baits.
And every single lure have his own kind of character.
Exactly why Rapalas fill our local store shelves. But how do the baits go from Finland to your local shop?
Thanks, Bob. Okay, so 4,362.78 miles from Finland to this place, Rapala, USA in Eagan, Minnesota. This is the big distribution center. And trust me, to see is to believe. Okay, so I'm here with Jim George, and I think it's fair to say you're like the biggest Rapala in the tackle box when it comes to this place, right?
Yeah, that'd be correct. This is the U.S. operation, so we distribute product to all the larger sporting retailers.
44 people work around the clock moving Rapalas in and right back out.
I'm not saying this place is big or anything, but I'm thinking you could have a couple of NFL football games going in here.
We have 150,000 square feet here in this facility.
I mean, these are all baits. When I dream at night,
Yeah, it's like a fishing candy store.
So this is actually a container that came all the way from Finland, and this is Jeremy. This is your box.
This is our box. This is one of many. Everything that's coming in is going to be in a 20 or 40-foot container.
So Jeremy does the work while Deuce and Fireball just sit around and watch you.
Yeah,
On the forklift, no less.
that's a normal day. Let's load it up. Grab one, man.
He's doing a good job.
So you got the label.
Okay.
Just face it towards Fireball there. There you go. We get over 200 of these a year, as well as over 200 air freights. So
Did I do that wrong?
that's all right. There you go. That's what we do, and it's ready to go.
Boxes stack up fast around here. The team unpacks and drops baits on shelves. Then Rapala's pickers get to work.
So this is Sue, and you're the next step of the process.
Yeah, I'm picking a web order.
You're a picker.
I'm a picker, the order expediter here at the warehouse. And right now I'm going to pick a web order. We are assigned an order on our scanner, and our scanner will tell us where in the warehouse to go pick. And the scanner will say, okay, that's the right product, and we can put it into our container to ship off.
It's time to pick.
All right, so let's go.
We're following Sue. She's on the move. You need tennis shoes for this job.
That's how I get my exercise.
What are you, trolling? You've got a fishing rod. What gives?
That's my hooker.
Yeah, she said hooker.
It's for when I need things from the top shelf or whatever. Oh.
Keep your hooker away from me.
So I scan it. It'd give me the idiot beep if it wasn't the right product.
All right, so what's next?
627 CO1. They need some hooks.
One by one, Sue picks the pieces of the order.
Last item?
Last item. And the scanner says I'm done. And the label and box it up and get it to UPS.
I can't keep up. So the label's printed, now you pack.
Yep, got the packing list, got the label. We put the product in, we put the label on, and it's ready to go to UPS.
That's Sandy. We're old friends, so to speak, right?
We are.
She puts all this stuff together once it gets packaged. How many left?
Oh, thousands. I'm gonna wrap this up.
Is this gonna make me dizzy?
Yes.
And just like that, the stuff that came in is going right back out. That is how Rapala does it.
Coming up, Rapala product testing.
Got it.
Finish style.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Banks Outdoors, Open Air Solutions, Wiley Point Lodge, and by Central Boiler.
To understand the lure of Rapala is to walk the floors of Rapala's Finland factory. But after work and on weekends, Rapala employees practice what they preach.
Nice colors.
Petri Baris works for Rapala Finland, and he lives for days at his cabin. So we're going fishing. Finland sits on the edge of the Baltic Sea, home to many freshwater species of fish, including a favorite of the Finns.
For me, in Finland, it's the ultimate predator. You know, it always hit hard.
Northern pike are almost revered in Finland.
So we'll start fishing right here.
Petri fishes alongside fellow angler and Rapala man Teemu Makela. And not to sound too cliche, but you'll never guess what they use.
They are so beautiful.
Almost exclusively Rapalas.
Colorful. They are like candies, you know?
How do you say eat me in Finnish? I can't wait any longer.
About the first cast, our first fish.
Ooh, there you go. Finn 0, USA 1.
I'm just polite.
Keep in mind, this is the ocean. The water is a mix of fresh and salt.
Got it.
Perfect for pike.
Basically, this is really big lake. To us, it's Baltic Sea. I will show you one nasty place.
We sort of creep back through a shallow channel.
Petri's my kind of guy. It's not good enough that we traveled all the way to Finland. Even in Finland, you have to go to the secret spot.
Right away, a monster.
Oh my gosh. Ooh. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, there.
Oh, there's another one.
Like I say, we are in heaven. This is the place where I caught 120 centimeter long pike.
That's 47 inches in fish talk. We cast through Petri's little lagoon in a steady, cold rain. And then Teemu yells.
Awesome. He's smiling under his rain suit. Wow, nice fish.
Figures the guy catching the big one on a Rapala would be in a boat called a Mr. Pike.
How much fun was that?
Mr. Pike.
Back at the cabin, we celebrate Rapala traditions. Fish gets smoked, never fried.
We can drink some beer and wait.
I realized Lori Rapala's legacy is more than a fishing lure. It is a bond between people and a love of a sport so simple, yet so complex. It is the reason we fish.
So the next time you reach into your tackle box, think a little bit more about the individual baits, all the passion that goes into them, and all the work. It's a great story about how your gear gets made for the outdoors. I'm going fishing. We have one more package to wrap. There you go, buddy.